Welcome back to Monday's Monarch. My name's Joe Inslee, and today we're going to talk about who is King Belshazzar. If you like my content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Belshazzar's name literally means the Prince of Bel. So it was a title, it wasn't really his name. Kind of like the pharaohs of Egypt. Their name wasn't Pharaoh, Pharaoh, Pharaoh. They were just called Pharaoh like we'd call someone king or president. Belshazzar wins a couple of awards when we look at monarchical history. First of all, he was a joint king with his dad.
Nabonidus something or other.
And when his dad went on an excursion to Arabia, he left Belshazzar in charge while he was gone. I grew up in Georgia, and when you see a guy come up to the gas pump next to you, and he's got a big shiny truck, but he's only 17 years old, you look at the guy and you say, "Hey dude, your dad's got a nice truck." Belshazzar's kingdom was a lot like that.
Hey Bel, your dad's got a nice kingdom.
So he's kind of the king, but not really the king. Belshazzar reigned about 500 BC, and one of the best stories about Belshazzar is super Sunday schoolable. Is that a word? Sunday schoolable? So let's set the scene. Now I want you to imagine what would happen if most teenagers you know were left alone at the house while their parents went to Arabia and they were told they were king and could do whatever they wanted. Exactly. Belshazzar throws a kegger at his house. All of his friends are drunk, they're kind of going nuts, and they run out of red Solo cups.
Red Solo cup, I lift you up, proceed to party, proceed to party.
Belshazzar gets a great idea.
You know those goblets that Nebuchadnezzar stole from the Lord's temple? Shots!
Let's just say the Lord wasn't super thrilled about Belshazzar using templeware for his kegger. So all of a sudden, a giant hand appears in the room and starts writing on the wall and an inscription no one can understand. Now, I'm just going to say that this story doesn't correlate in any way to what Jesus did in the sand when the Pharisees accused a woman of sin, but I think it's super cool that God has a history of pulling out a finger, writing something that people don't understand, and just leaving it there. That's exactly what happened here. Belshazzar is pretty freaked out that there's a big old hand writing things on his wall. So he says, "Look guys, purple garments, some gold chains, all the bling you can imagine, if you will interpret what's on that wall." Even though all his people wanted the bling, none of them could interpret what was happening. So he calls in their designated driver, because turns out the queen is actually sober and wasn't going nuts that night. And the queen recommends this dude named Daniel. You guys might know Daniel. He's the dude that likes to play with lions. So Daniel interprets the inscription for Belshazzar. Basically what the Lord is telling Belshazzar is, "Hey dude, you saw Nebuchadnezzar, he made bad decisions, and you haven't learned, so your days are numbered." Now Daniel told Belshazzar, "Don't give me any of the bling." But Belshazzar gave the bling anyway.
He's the king of bling!
Turns out Belshazzar's days were numbered to 1, because he died that night. And that's pretty much the story of a spoiled, rotten, bratty king.